Um,
Yeah.
this project is actually in collaboration with there is another institute called Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology Trivandrum
Okay.
in Kerala
Mm-hmm.
and US Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
Together we are sending these fruit flies to the space
Okay.
on the Gaganyaan mission,
Mm-hmm.
which is not at schedule.
Yet
So
not.
basically,
Yes.
yeah, it is not at scheduled. Most probably in 2025 late or 2026 early it is.
Mm-hmm.
So the objective of this mission is basically these fruit flies. You guys know that, right? The fruit
Yes.
flies are nothing but basically Drosophila melanogaster scientific name,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes with the banana fruit actually.
Okay.
So it's a pest on the banana fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason we are sending fruit flies to the space is to understand the kidney stone formation in space. Why we want to study the kidney stones in the space?
Mm-hmm.
When the astronauts go to the space,
Mm.
because of the lack of gravity,
Mm.
the bone and muscle
Mm.
loss will be there for the astronauts in the space.
Okay.
So during that muscle and bone loss,
Mm-hmm.
calcium also leaks out from the
Right.
bone and muscle, and that will go and deposit into the kidney, and as a result of that, kidney stones will be formed for astronauts. So they are very, very vulnerable for kidney stone formation in space.
Mm.
So that's the reason why we wanted to study how kidney stones are differently formed in the space compared to on Earth.
Right.
The reason why we want to study the fruit flies, kidney stones, fruit flies and human biology, if you look at, almost 77% genetic homology is there.
Okay.
The similarity between the fruit fly genes and the and the human genes. And this model system has been used for understanding various diseases.
Okay.
So, and it's a very simple organism, and it's very quick to reproduce, and all those advantages we have. So that's the reason why we wanted to send these fruit flies to the space. And this is going to go around the Earth orbit, low Earth orbit we call it as.
Okay.
Low Earth orbit, around 400 kilometers from the Earth altitude. And it will go around the Earth for 3 to 5 days. As of now, it is planned for 3 to 5 days.
Right.
And once it falls back to the the coast of the Gujarat, then we'll bring those fruit flies to the lab and try to understand the kidney stones. And there is organ in the fruit flies called Malpighian tubules. Those Malpighian tubules are the equivalent to the human kidney.
Okay, right.
So this is what we're trying to understand from this mission actually.
So this would be like a research study, and then later, if it gets successful, then later you will implement it for for future missions. It would be very helpful, right?
Yes, it is. It will be very helpful for understanding how kidney stones are differently formed in the astronauts. So this information can be used for developing some countermeasures for the astronauts in the later stage.
Right.
Down the line, 15 years, 20 years, because of course, after the fruit flies, we have to test it out in the mice model, rat model, then eventually, we'll go for some kind of drug discovery studies. But yeah, this is a very, very basic information we're trying to gather from the fruit flies, so that it will be very helpful for us to develop some countermeasures in the later stage.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So one thing, from where this idea germinated, like how you approach ISRO or
no? So it is interesting because I used to work for NASA.
Okay.
I worked for close to 7 years at NASA. At NASA Ames Space Center, which is in California. So I used to do this kind of experiments routinely on the International Space Station.
Right. Okay.
So the fruit fly, I did my PhD in CFTRI Mysore. And after that, I went to US for a postdoc, and later I became a research faculty at NASA Ames Research Center, which is one of the NASA center in California. And our lab was specialized in sending these fruit flies to the International Space Station.
Okay.
And we did at least 4 flight experiments. And we try to understand the different biological processes, like how the brain responds to the reduced gravity environment in the International Space Station, and how the heart function and structure changes when they go to the space. And we are used to understand the stress biology and other things. So basically, whatever the problems the astronauts encounter in the space, we used to understand by using this model system called Drosophila melanogaster. That was my specialization actually.
Okay, right.
So in 2017, I came back and joined as an assistant professor in the university here,
Mm-hmm.
University of Agricultural Sciences, Dharwad.
Right.
Then during that time, there was immediately announcement by the government of India
Mm-hmm.
for the Gaganyaan program,
Okay,
and they called for proposal.
right.
And in collaboration with the Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, Trivandrum, and US Harvard, we approached ISRO, and we it got the funding later. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. So funding wise, basically IIST is supporting the cause. ISRO as well.
ISRO. Yeah, IIST is a part of ISRO,
Uh-huh.
and most of the work is also going on in the IIST, and we are supporting biology. Biology part is where I'm doing it here,
Mm-hmm.
and we also need to develop a hardware because it
Okay.
has to be sent in specific habitat,
Mm-hmm.
because we cannot simply send the fruit flies like this.
Hmm.
So it has to have all the environmental conditions required for surviving those
Mm-hmm.
fruit flies. So that is supported by the Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And in the end, just like to know your closing note and what your vision regarding this project. Any closing note?
Yeah, so vision is obviously the space biology is a very recent phenomena in India. Not
Mm-hmm.
many people are specialized, and not many people are working in this area of research.
Mm-hmm.
And ISRO is supporting now.
Right.
And hopefully this area of research will develop into really big, because it's already well established research area in the Western world, like
Right.
in NASA and European Space Agency and JAXA, Japanese Space Agency. A
Right.
lot of this kind of work is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But in ISRO, they haven't started yet. I think hopefully this project is going to be first of its kind, and hopefully it will, it will develop a lot of enthusiasm both in the administrators in ISRO as well as general public. So
Right.
idea is to start and initiate this very niche area of research in India.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully this project will, kickstart that initiative.
Right, right, sir, right.
Yeah.
Right, sir. So I thank you so much for your valuable time.